Are you happy with this? Are you okay with that?
I feel like I'm in the middle of the Matrix.
By the way,
The cameras that
no. It's just only people they like it's for education. I do this education. Now you see, as you know that in Islam it has kind of a unique understanding about God firstly, and unique as well in terms of following as well. It has a unique way as well to understand Islam and to follow the way of God. You yourself, are you a God believer yourself?
No.
You're not a God believer. Do you believe in God? Do you believe in the existence of God?
I'm not sure, but I don't think I have a belief in it.
Not have a belief something and to know there is something, a higher power created this universe. Do you accept this?
I'm not sure.
How this universe came into existence?
Yeah, I don't know.
So either do you believe this universe exists or doesn't exist?
Yeah, it exists.
So does it have a starting point?
What does that mean, a starting point?
Meaning the universe started at certain point. By the way, all cosmology, they believe this. It had a starting point. They call it Big Bang, some of them, they call it whatever. They're different things.
Right, so a time when it came to start existing.
Yes.
Right, couldn't it have always been? Could it have always been?
No, now here always means infinity, and infinity is a concept which doesn't exist in the real life. So it's definitely not always was there. It has a starting point.
So what was there before?
So that's the question here. That's we need to understand before what was there before. Then we'll discuss. So this universe has a starting point. When this universe started to exist, yeah, either this universe created itself by itself, or it came from nothing, like nothing, and then came into existence, or it was created by a creator. What do you think?
It can't come from nothing, right?
It can come from nothing. Okay, good. That's eliminated.
I don't think it can.
So can it
What was
create?
the other
Can it be created to create itself by itself?
No.
So then it came by a creator. Do you agree?
But where did the creator come from?
Now we'll discuss where the creator came from, but let's agree on this now first, and then we'll
I'll
and
go
then.
with it. Yeah, I'll go
So this creator has certain characteristics. Yeah, is all powerful to create this universe. How do you think this universe came with something has weakness or something powerful to create this universe?
Why is it all powerful? I don't understand.
Again, it's all powerful. Now this universe is so big, so humongous, firstly, and as well to create something so big and so humongous,
It
you should be.
looks humongous to us, but that's a
Humongous.
That's a relative.
That's
thing.
why the creator has to be greater than that.
He can be greater than that, but that doesn't make him.
That's definitely.
He doesn't make him all anything, really.
What?
That doesn't make him more powerful. I can make a statue that's much bigger than me.
Yeah, you can. Now the question is not about the statue. I'm talking about the details. I'm talking about the energy in the universe. I'm talking about the power in this universe. I'm talking about everything. All the details should be created by all powerful, and has to have knowledge.
I don't know all powerful. I'm not sure about that.
So simple as that. Either someone has weakness or someone's all powerful. There is no middle ground. The issue is to say, so we have a power to create certain things.
Why? First of all, why is the creator a person?
I didn't say a person. I never said a person.
He said something, not somebody.
Yeah, I said no, it's higher power now, and then we'll talk about it is something that's true. Yeah, and it is someone which is true, but not necessarily a person. That person is more.
I'm happy to do something. I'm happy to do that. But
And as well, and it should be.
I don't understand all powerful. I don't get that.
Okay,
I don't think we can know much about it.
that's why he told us about himself. He told us. How he told us? He told us through, for example, the Quran, which is the very same book that you were given today.
Yeah.
Which he told us about himself, that he possessed the power. That's why he gave the one who doesn't have nothing, give nothing. So the one who has something will give something. Correct? So, for example, if you don't have money at all, then you cannot donate to someone who doesn't have nothing. But this universe came into existence, and this universe has powers and has as well energy and has certain things, and it was given by someone who has it to be given to, basically. Meaning, not necessarily what you are using. Your analogy is by using to say that we create things because we found things and then we make things. But already these things are existence. I'm talking about something from, that higher power, when he created this universe, he literally created this universe out of nothing, without utilizing different things to create this universe, basically. And that shows it's powerful to create this universe.
It's just he has power.
Yes,
some power.
Powerful. Not some power, great power. That's something beyond our even imagination. As well, should have knowledge as well to create this universe. Otherwise,
Why?
of course.
Why can't it be an accident?
Accident. Okay, why your eyes are here? Was it an accident?
It could have been an accident.
So that means if there is an accident, that means there are certain accidents which the eyes is not there and it didn't work for some time. Correct?
Yeah, I think that happened actually.
Where is that?
That was like evolution, right?
At all, nothing. It didn't happen.
Yeah, but there were plenty of evolutionary accidents that didn't proliferate because they weren't useful for the
Hypotheses.
species.
Those are hypotheses. There is nothing. There is nothing in the real life.
So you don't believe in evolution?
No, not the way that it is. I believe in adaptation for certain creatures, that they adapt to certain things, they change certain things. That's fine. But to say things evolved from, the cells evolved to multiple cells, and there is in these multiple cells to make the first, for example, creature, and that creature evolved to develop to be something. All of these things, if you study the evolution, actually it has all gaps. It's just only, it is an assumption. It is something assumed by the scholars or by the people in the science. It has no facts. It's not a real fact,
Right,
actually.
but you're making an assumption as well.
No, I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about the real now here. Either we say, we'll try to go to the assumption what we're saying. I'm saying if people...
The hard bit is to go... I'm kind of happy to agree with you that the universe can have a beginning and can have something that created it. But I think you're trying to... The hard thing for me is you have... you state the qualities of that thing that creates it.
Yes.
And that's
It
what,
should have.
That's what the Quran does, right? It states a lot of...
Yeah, basically. The Quran, not just only
the
this.
hard thing for me is, even if the quality sounds like I want to agree with them, I don't know that they're true.
Yeah, that's why. You don't know
that.
that. It affirms how we know that this something is true. For example, to know that, for example, that the Quran has spoke about certain things which cannot be said by someone who is a literate man living 1400 years ago, and yet, yeah, for example, and he will say this information didn't come to him, by himself. He didn't invent it. It didn't come from a human being. It was taught to him, and he believed, and he said that this information came to him by God.
So you're saying he was given some information that he couldn't have known.
Yes.
So what's an example of that?
Like, for example, what do you think the deepest point any diver could dive 1400 years ago?
I have no idea.
Oh, do they have submarines? Did they have submarines at that time?
No.
Did they have any equipment to dive deep in the ocean?
I doubt it.
Will they be able to discover what's going on down in the ocean, down there?
No,
Yeah.
they shouldn't.
So if someone is describing certain things deep in the ocean, for example, I'm just giving you one example, yeah? Now, Allah has stated in the Quran, those who are away from the guidance of God, that are living in darkness, just like someone deep in the bottom of the ocean, above him there is a wave, above the wave there is another wave, above the sea there is a cloud. Even if he took his hand out of his pocket, he will be unable to see darkness upon darkness. And whomever God doesn't give him the guidance will be in misguidance. So God is describing certain type of darkness. God could have said, they are in darkness and that's it. But talking about the details of the darkness.
So sorry, what detail did he?
The details are as follow. Now, if there is a cloud, for example, and a cloudy like today, for example, yeah. So if the sky is full of a cloud, and with the sunlight, it's basically it reflects more than 40% of the sunlight, and only 60% will go through, will penetrate through the clouds. Now, when there is surface waves of the sea, which everyone appreciated, the surface wave of the sea, what does it do to the light? It will break the light, and only half of that will be able to go through. Now the question is, which is we discovered recently, that deep in the ocean there is another type of waves that goes in another direction, which is some of them they call it the sea current, for example, which is again discovered recently. No one appreciated, no one knows that deep in the ocean there are some waves that's happening underneath the ocean. Even in the past, we used to think that the waves, that basically the whole ocean is just being in a wave, like all of it from bottom to top, but actually there's got another waves, meaning there is another type of waves. And as well, even they discovered as well, there are some oceans under the ocean, which is another type of basically double layer of the seas. And that ocean which is underneath it has its own qualities, etc.
In the Quran, it talks
Yes.
about the multiple levels.
Multiple levels of waves. That's the mention in the Quran.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's something, and as well, someone will take his hand out of his pocket, will be unable to see it. So now, who taught Muhammad about this fact? I'm not talking about scientific fact. I'm talking about fact, real fact. There are other things as well mentioned in the Quran. For example, the development of the fetus in the womb of the mother, the way that is developed.
It talks about that?
Yes,
Wow.
talks about that. For example, God has said as well that the human being, initially, that Allah has created the human being like it was like initially like a blood clot, and then this blood clot developed into what's like a bite, and that bite developed into bones, and that bones and nerves, and that bones and nerve was covered.
So it talked about the progression of the.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, and
was it accurate?
no, yeah,
Really?
exactly. Yeah. So you see here the way that it is.
So how does it say that in the Quran? I'm genuinely interested. How does it talk about it?
Here you go.
Does it list it out like that?
Yeah, it lists it up like that.
Wow. I guess I could use my new Quran to look it up.
Here.
Oh, you have a digital
What Allah said in the Quran here. We have created the human being from type of a clay, initially.
From a type of clay.
Yeah, initially us. Meaning, like our nature, our bodies basically came from the clay, basically, initially. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. That's why when we die and then when we turn into, whatever, we go back to dust. Yeah. So then Allah says, here, that's the beginning. Then this is as initial. This is the father of the human being, which is Adam. Yeah. God has created him from, basically from the soil or from the dust or from the clay. And then here, ثم جعلناه نطفة في قرار مكين. And then he became like a nutfa, like a drop, and he came in a vessel inside, which is the womb. Yeah. ثم خلقنا النطفة علقة. And then this nutfa, or this like a clot, or like that drop, nutfa like it's like you could say a drop of something, or a clot. Yeah. Yeah, then it became into similar to alaqa. Alaqa, something similar to the leech. Yeah,
Okay.
you know the leech, how it looks. Yeah, similar to the leech, things like that. And there is actually a big similarity between the leech and actually with the embryo in the beginning, because it looks like that. It's like a small one,
Because it's feeding from the mother.
and feeding from the mother as well. فخلقنا العلقة مضغة, and then this leech or this alaqa, then it developed into a bite, similar to a bite.
A bite.
Yeah, mudgha, yeah, a bite, which is like, where is, if we have the book, I will show you one thing. I think we have something here.
Is the Arabic in the Quran? This is tangent, but is the Arabic that you're reading from the Quran?
Yeah.
Is that the same as modern Arabic?
Actually, it's like the classical Arabic, yeah. It's the classical Arabic.
So if you were to speak with your friends, it's the same.
Everyone understand, all Arabs understand it. Yeah? And then this bite, or which is similar to the bite, and then they said the bite, something bite on the side, which is similar to the thing, and then which is the bones, yeah? Then they became bones, yeah? And then this bones, which is bones and nerves as well. And then this bones was covered with the flesh, and then it became into a new creation.
And so this was not common knowledge at that time.
No.
When did Western science discover that?
After they found the microscope and all of these things. And
So
then,
hundreds and hundreds of years.
yes, and as well, not just that, and even about the cosmology as well. For example, God has talked about, for example, the stars, and that this universe is expanding, where God has said, we have created the heavens, which is this one, everything that you see is the heaven, yeah, and we are expanding it. So the expansion of the universe as well affirmed in the Quran. As well, God has said as well about, for example, that when God has making an oath by something in the Quran to tell you that something that's worth to ponder and to reflect. So God said, I will not make an oath by the positions of the stars. And it's a great oath, but you are not yet aware of that. So saying about the position of the stars. Everyone at that time understood the position of the star, east, west, this and that. But nowadays, when you look to the star in the night, actually, and actually those stars, they are millions of light years away from us. And then by the time that when you are looking, when the light reaches your eyes, that star is not there already. That star moved maybe because of the expansion of the universe, which is affirmed in the Quran, or could be changed into a black hole. So basically, when you are staring at these stars, you are staring at the position of the star, which is affirmed in the Quran. All of these things are mentioned in the Quran. So that tells us, and there are many. The Quran is full of that. Quran is not science book, but it has facts. It has facts. Quran is not historical book. It has facts.
So Muslims take these facts as evidence that it was from God.
For us, even the language of the Quran is so sophisticated, is so miraculous that for me as an Arab, and I understand and I studied, for example, the classical Arabic, so I understand that the way that it is structured, it cannot be said by even normal human being. That's just the way the structure of it.
The main. Written,
the way the sound of it, it's just like a melody, and it's like poetic way. Yeah, the way that the structure of it, the grammar of it is so sophisticated, so great. It can be compared to anything that was said ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish I could read it in Arabic.
So that's why we
in English, I'm not going to get the same effect.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same effect, but you will have kind of the vibe, kind of the understanding of it. So you could see. That's why we advise you have a read.
I'm going to have a read.
What do you have there?
I have the Quran.
I have this, I think, as well. That's something for you. All right, look after yourself. What's your name? Kieran. Nice meeting you, Muhammad. Nice meeting you. All right, look after yourself. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to guide the brother and to bring him, to Islam. And subhanAllah, that's our duty as Muslims. Our duty is to convey the message, and the guidance comes from Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And again, that's an advice as well for all my brothers and sisters. Sometimes we shouldn't be just only relying on the, on the, what do you call it? Some people scientific facts, but actually, as with the Quran, doesn't contradict the science, the facts in the science. That's the point of it. And as well, that the Quran is a book from Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, and to focus on the linguistic meanings of the Quran and the linguistic of the Quran, that's the most important thing, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair all. May Allah bless you all and increase us all in knowledge. Amen. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.